Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, so let's get back to Iraq. I did another type of video earlier, so I wanted to at least get back into the news. There's some interesting things going on here. It's funny because when I saw this picture and I saw this gentleman here, it just reminded me so much of bad lip read. I don't know if you've ever seen bad lip reads.
Roast beef for sale, marriages for the lemonade.
Out of all the bad lip reads, this is easily the best. It's called the White House press briefing. The way they do the character for Sanders here is just, it's classic. It's one of the best, and it'll make you laugh. So the guy that was singing looked like him, and that's the first thing that popped in my head. Anyways, it is pretty funny. You guys should check it out. You get a kick out of it. All right, so let's get back to Iraq and find out what the latest and the greatest is. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code PIMPYSILVER. Yes, it has changed. PIMPYSILVER. So if you're watching this video and it's an older video, make sure you check on current videos, because the code is going to be changing from time to time from now on. Also, I can be found on other platforms. Everybody knows I have my own website, Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I post videos that I can't get away with over on YouTube. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come on over here and join us. It's free to do so. You can also come follow me on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and Odyssey. The links for all these platforms will be down below in the description. So for whatever reason, if I get removed off of one platform, you could find me on the others. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. Feel free to pause the video, go ahead and write it down, and reach out to me. So, not surprising, that video I put up about Hunter Biden exposing all the crap that's on that laptop had a huge spike in views. And you guys had a lot of comments about it. I might have to do a video going through and responding to the comments. You can understand why they didn't want that laptop exposed to the public. I mean, the stuff that this guy's done, not only to minors, but his own family members, and videotapes it, there's something wrong with that guy. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, go over to Pimpy's News Network, and you'll see a video that I did on Hunter Biden on there, and I encourage you guys to go check it out. I think it's something that everybody in this nation should be aware of, and once you see it, you're going to be sick to your stomach and pissed off. All right, here we go. It says Hussein from Washington, budget completed and sent to Parliament within 3 weeks. Finally, a budget. We're now going into what? The second week of the second month, and we're just now getting a budget over there. Hopefully it'll be approved and implemented by the third month of this year. Said the preparation for the draft budget has been completed and will be sent to Parliament within the next 3 weeks. How it might not even be approved by March. On relations between Erbil and Baghdad, he pointed out that they are very good, and the problems between them, we seek solutions to them. He added that the oil and the gas problem between Erbil and Baghdad is solved through the issuance of the oil and gas law, stressing the need to resolve the issue within 6 months. We can't just rely on oil revenues, and we have a plan to pay more attention to gas. So yeah, for those of you who are unaware, they're talking about the gas laws, what had happened. There was an agreement with Kurdistan, and then Iraq reneged on it, and then got the courts to toss that new law out, stripping them of their access to money from the budget, and then wanting total 100% control of the oil over there in Kurdistan. And they're just kind of raising the middle finger over there to Baghdad. So it looks like some experts have decided that the Garden of Eden is somewhere located in Iraq. I've heard about this story a long time ago. I don't know why it's just becoming news on this website or over there in Iraq. The governor of the central bank and director of the International Monetary Fund discussed the development of the Iraqi banking sector. Roast beef for sale. So the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, and executive director of the IMF discuss bilateral cooperation in the interest of the country's economy, monetary policy, and ways to develop the Iraqi banking sector. So this comes during a meeting between Al-Alaq and there's no way in hell I'm going to try to pronounce that dude's name, in Washington, on the sidelines of his visit to the U.S. Capitol, according to a statement from the news. It's noteworthy that the governor of the central bank is currently visiting Washington as part of an official government delegation headed by the Iraqi Foreign Minister Hussein in order to start official talks with the United States Federal Bank. So people keep asking, what is it that's going on? Their banking system in Iraq was outdated. They were using 486 computers. No, I'm just kidding. Some of you will get that joke. Some of you won't, okay? It's terrible. So for some of you youngins, I'll just show you real quick. Back when people first started getting access to computers, we had one of us a 486. It was just a big box that looked like that. And then for most of them, you didn't even have a colorful screen. Not yet. Everything was like in this weird green state. But these particular ones right here, this is a little bit more upgraded from the old school. So you had a 386, a 486. I remember, I think it was a 586. But the computers were just ugly. And when you ran them, yeah, they looked like this. So anyways, I just thought I would show you, because I know not everybody's getting that joke. So yeah, their equipment, their system was very outdated. They had to get updated. And the system had to be in compliance with the international banking system. For those of you who are not sure what that is, we're talking about Basel III compliant. So they have to implement Basel I, Basel II, and Basel III to their banking system in order for them to be tied in to the international banking, which will benefit them big time. So the Central Bank of Iraq has taken a package of measures to reform the Iraqi banking sector and develop its work in line with the international standards, which will reflect positively on Iraq's international trade and the national economy. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is going to be a huge boost for the people in Iraq and their banking sector. It's also going to help with their economy as well as strengthen the dinar. The central bank continues its measures to combating money laundering and financing of terrorism by taking a set of decisions that support those measures, which reflected positively on Iraq's classification in the fields. So Al-Sudani advisor explains the reason for the difference in dollar exchange rate between the official and the parallel markets. Again, the official is the one they make an announcement of. It's pegged to the US dollar. It's a set amount. 1,300 dinars is the one they're talking about. Actually, there's three rates that are kept. You have the official, the market, and what they call the real rate, at least for Iraq. I've seen graphs of those rates several times back in olden days. So here they're talking about the difference between the official rate and the parallel rate. So the Prime Minister's advisor for financial affairs, Saleh, confirmed on Friday that the central bank's packages will accelerate the levels of meeting the demand for foreign currency, while explaining the reason for the exchange rate difference between the official and the rate of the parallel market. Between the recent rise is artificial and based on false information called color noise, and does not match the strength of the currency. Saleh said to the official agency, followed by the news, there is a difference between the balance of supply and demand forces in the money markets and the strength of the interventions of monetary policy in the transitional period by regulating the assets of foreign trade procedures and meeting the financial needs of foreign currency by the banking sector and in accordance with the international compliance rules on the one hand. He added that these people trade based on confusion or colored information that is traded in the gray markets to achieve fatal profits that are done at the expense of the legality of the procedures and arrangements followed by the monetary policy in stabilizing the general level of price and work at the new official exchange rate, without realizing from them the importance of implementing the strong equation between the strength of the high. As you can see, they cut it off. Due to the weakness of regular market institutions in verifying the positive signals of the strength of the national economy and the strength of its reserves, which exceed $115 billion. That is unbelievable, man. That is a large amount. And every month they keep adding to the reserves. Those reserves continue to get larger. I mean, the difference between the previous month to the newer month, the jumps are getting bigger and bigger. So it's nice. He pointed out that the color noise is embodiment of false, confused information based on rumor to generate price noise and artificial deviations to achieve fatal or peak profits at the expense of the impact on price stability itself without real awareness to two important things. The first of these two things is the foreign trade arm of the government, which works in accordance with the international trade rules and carries flexibility and very high potential in providing commodity supply at stable prices at any moment. And the second is the role of the active packages launched by the Central Bank of Iraq, on which monetary policy is working to accelerate the opening up the levels of meeting the finished. U.S. seeks to strengthen ties with Baghdad as Iraq FM visits. Okay, whoa, man. She scared the crap out of me. Jeez, man. So this article kind of rehashes a lot of the other things that we have been reading up there. It just gets into a little more detail. It says the Iraqi currency will be stabilizing. It says the Americans have a good understanding of the situation, while discussions he had at the Treasury Department would have a positive impact on the value of the Iraqi dinar. We love to hear that kind of news. Plus, they're doing what they can to work on the electricity generation over there in Iraq. They're trying to expedite that. If you watch the other video, you will see that I highlighted part of the BTI report in which they said one of the biggest problems that need to be addressed in order for them to encourage foreign investors to come into Iraq is they have to do something about their electrical grid. You know, you don't want to own a company over there, but you have no electricity to run it. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of excitement going on over there. There's going to be a little lag time between the official rate and the market rate to catch up to one another. Obviously, you don't want that gap to get too big, because then you start encouraging people to buy on the black market. If I take $100 to the bank and they officially do the exchange of 1,300 dinars for every dollar versus me going to the streets or to the black market, and I got somebody who's willing to give me 1,700 dinars for every dollar, obviously I'm going to go where I could get the most money is what I would do. The energy issue has got to be taken care of right away. We know Germany is going to be installing these big generators. The U.S. is going to be supporting them, but the sooner those get in, the better. We know that a couple of them that they have installed were blown up. Iran does not want Iraq to be independent. They rely on them for electricity, and that's what Iran has been using as an excuse to grab U.S. dollars from Iraq. And that's a problem since they're being sanctioned. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think down below, and I will get back to you later. I'm out.